just a spectacle on its own. We got here and there was literally maybe 100 at a time coming out of the hole in the ground. There's all these little chambers that they erupt from. Now it's easily close to thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of termites coming out of the ground. So a very good afternoon to all the viewers and subscribers, and what a great feeling to be out again. Obviously we've had quite a bit of rain the last few days. Big storm came through here about 2-3 days ago, and it's obviously just completely wet the place, and there's puddles all over the road. I see there's terrapins and frogs all over the place, lots of insects, baby impalas are flourishing, lots of bird life, lots of reptiles out, so we're very keen to be out the next few days documenting all of that. There's a bit of footage from yesterday of me just going out briefly before it rained again, and we got to see one of the small crossings there close to camp along the river that runs past camp, where we got to see how strong the water was flowing, which is quite exciting. But this afternoon we're out, we're just cruising around, seeing what we can see, any new changes, smaller things, and then obviously if we hear any of the main stars, we'll shoot over to them and see what we can get. So in this small puddle of water in the road we've got a terrapin, and this terrapin is busy looking for food and quite successful at it. I think there's a few flying ants or alates that have fallen into the water and it's busy collecting them now. It's very tough to try and keep up with him, he's swimming quite quickly, but very cool to sit with and watch. So this is what I mean by when the sun comes out straight after a big storm, everything comes out. We've got a massive troop of baboons here spread amongst the impala herd. There's just birds going everywhere. Obviously we just had that terrapin, and I think tonight we're going to have a good eruption of termites, hopefully. I can see there's one or two flying around at the moment, and I think the baboons, obviously they're feeding on them, terrapins, lots of birds, so it should be interesting to watch and see. So something just to look at in the water here. I'm sure you can see all these little heads and bodies floating around. It's all the little terrapins that are out catching any insects that fall on the surface of the water. And it's crazy. We obviously had the one in the puddle, and there must be at least over 20-30 terrapins in this pan of water just busy looking for insects. It's amazing to watch. So this is obviously just amazing. So you can see now after the rains how all of these flying ants, or should I say termites, otherwise known as alates. So these are the kings and queens, or the future kings and queens of the termite colonies. So we often talk about the Mbiri Pride and the Nauru Pride's kings and queens, or the future generations to come. On a smaller scale, this is sort of the same thing. Obviously we don't have names for them and dynamics. It would be nearly impossible to keep up with who's who. But this is it in a different shape and form. So it's going to be very difficult to try and follow them, but if you look into the sky here, all of the flying ants are erupting out of the ground and taking off into the sky. I mean, look at them just coming out of that hole now. I didn't expect anything like this. This is just insane. I mean, have a look at that past the car. Wow. there's a better indication for you. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just a spectacle on its own? We got here and there was literally maybe 100 at a time coming out of the hole in the ground. There's all these little chambers that they erupt from. Now it's easily close to thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of termites coming out of the ground. I think it's safe to say that's definitely one of the craziest termite eruptions I've ever seen. Nothing like a hello summer with the amount of termites coming out of the ground. So we've come out early this morning and we've got a beautiful herd of wildebeest here, and of course we've got the little calves that have all of a sudden sprouted and popped up in amongst the herds. Some tiny little ones. Another reason to just love summer. So this is also quite a nice surprise this morning. We've got 3 spotted hyenas walking down the road, or up the hill should I say, towards us. Obviously been out on a night's patrol, maybe on a carcass. This one looks quite full. Oh, there's another one coming up down the hill that side, so there's 4. This is very cool. We're going to have our own little hyena walk by this morning. Okay, so some great news this morning. We've got a few members of the Mbiri Pride in a spot that I've never seen them before. But we are just here past Malcolm's Bridge towards Main Dam side, which is mainly Nauru territory. But it looks like we've got the young open male and a few lionesses. So pretty interesting in the lion dynamics that they're pushing so far south. I'm not sure where the big boys are, Mandebo and Chile. Despite the cooler weather this morning, the Mbiri Pride are being very lazy. I thought maybe they would get up and move. It still is quite early in the morning, so maybe we'll get some time with them and they might just get up and surprise us. So something that is quite exciting is we've left the Mbiri Pride now, and we've come out to this big open clearing on the other side of Main Dam, and we're sitting here currently with the Red Road male and one of his sons, the young male with the sort of deformed lip. So just by the gentle nudging and greeting earlier on when both males picked their heads up, it's one of the signs possibly that these two males could be forming a coalition, and it's really great, obviously from Red Road's point of view and for the young males. I'm not sure where the other younger male is. I think he's probably with the rest of the Nauru Pride if I'm not mistaken. But if this is the start of Red Road busy grooming these young males to join them as coalition partners, we could have a serious time on our hands going forward next year, with obviously the Tinswalo males being around. And definitely think that if all three of these males do stick together, they'll definitely chase the Tinswalo males and overcome them. They do need a bit more time though, obviously, to get larger, especially the two younger ones. But I think with Red Road's experience and his knowledge of the area and how to hold off marauding, invading males, I think they'll do just fine. So that will be an interesting story to watch unfold next year. Okay, so that roar from Red Road now is quite exciting, because with them roaring, or him just roaring, the young male didn't participate very much, with him roaring, they are really not far from where we left the Mbiri Pride this morning. Reports are that the Mbiri Pride was still there this afternoon and slowly but surely showing signs of getting active. I'm not sure which direction they would have moved in, but if they are coming this way, which is a slight possibility because it's a bit further north where they should actually be rather than where they are now, and with Red Road roaring, they might come and investigate, which will be very interesting to see what happens between the five lionesses, obviously the young male, and then these two males. So quite the plot twist this evening. We've got the Mbiri Pride that we had this morning slowly walking on the road. Red Road's still calling his lungs out behind us, so they've obviously really decided to get out of the area. It does look like they are on the hunt as well, sort of a patrol, maybe moving back north and seeing what they can grab along the way. They did slink off into the bush now, but had no luck, and now they've all come back out into the road. So it looks like it's the five lionesses and the young Orpin male. I'm not sure if one of these lionesses is the young Orpin female or if it's just the five adult lionesses. Obviously, that means we've got the three youngsters missing, another two lionesses, one being the young Orpin female if she's not here, and then Mandevin and Chile. So they must be up north somewhere around there. So we've just lost visual of the Mbiri Pride. They've just gone off into the block just beside me here. There's a very upset jackal calling. I'm not sure if you can hear. I think it's stopped now. Obviously it's where the lions are walking through and the jackal was having a nap or just getting mobile and had 5-6 lions walking past, so not a pleasant thing to wake up to. But that brings this virtual safari to an end. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will see you on the next one. Obviously great to catch up with the lions and see the lion dynamics play out once again, and hopefully they can just keep on happening and new stories can keep progressing. No sign of the leopard cubs, obviously. We haven't been able to get up north with all the rain, but awesome to watch that beautiful termite eruption yesterday and see some of the smaller things, but as well as catching up with the main stars like the Mbiri Pride and the red-road male and his up-and-coming son, possibly even coalition. So that's something to look forward to in the future to come.